Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a video on my favorite makeup brushes, and I actually just filmed a tutorial on this look that I'm wearing, and as I was filming it I was thinking about how I have so many favorite brushes that I would love to share with you guys. So I'm basically just going to be showing you guys brushes in order of the steps of my makeup, and you guys can get out a piece of paper and write the brushes down, because I know that is definitely what I did when I was hunting for brushes. I would just watch videos like these and I would take people's favorite brushes and write them on a sheet of paper, and then I would go get them later. So definitely get your paper out ready, get your pen ready, get ready for your hands to hurt, because I have a lot of brushes to share with you guys. So before we get into this video, if you guys like me and do like my channel, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to have you guys here. So without further ado, if you guys want to see my favorite makeup brushes, then please keep watching. So warning in advance, all of my brushes are dirty because, again, I did just film this makeup look and I didn't have time to clean them in between. So all of them are dirty, but just bear with me. So these are what I'm going to be starting out with in this video. Obviously, most people know what these are. These are just the typical beauty blenders. These are my two favorites because these are the ones that I've tried. I heard the tan one's really good, but I've never tried that one. But I like these two for different kinds of foundation. So this is my favorite for applying foundation that is heavier. So anything with like a thicker base. And then this is my favorite for BB creams or lighter concealers like the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And this one for Tarte Shape Tape or any cream bronzers that I use. And both of them I will use with my setting powder as well. Beauty blenders are definitely worth the investment because you can use them for so many different things. You can literally use it for creams, powders, anything. I love my beauty blenders. I've tried to do dupes with beauty blenders, and I've just never found a blending sponge that lives up to the typical beauty blender, so I definitely recommend these two. So typically I don't really use stick foundations, but when I do, I don't like to use it with a beauty blender. I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to use most stick foundations with a brush. So when I do, I like to use the Morphe M439, and this is just a big, dense kabuki blending brush, and I love this brush. It just blends so nicely. It doesn't leave streaks on my face, and I just go in circular motions around my entire face, and it leaves nice coverage. It doesn't take off the product as I'm blending it in. It's just a great overall brush. I think this might be one of the top selling Morphe brushes, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is definitely worth the hype, and I love this brush. I'm actually going to skip out of order really fast and show you guys an eyebrow brush. This is just a Wacoal brush, or Wacoal, I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry, but my mom actually had this brush in one of her drawers when I was younger, and I basically took it from her. But this is the brush that I've always used for dip brow. It's basically just a flat angled brush, and I'm sorry, but it doesn't have any number or any name on it, but any flat angle brush really works for doing your eyebrows with dip brow, but this is my all-time favorite brush for filling my brows. So these two brushes right here I actually use for cream contour when I don't want to blend with my black beauty blender. So this one is with the brush that I use to contour my nose, and this is the Morphe M210, and it is so precise and thin and perfect for contouring the nose. But I will also draw my cream contour on my cheeks and on my forehead with this one, and then I will go ahead and buff it out with this brush right here. This is the Morphe M436, and it's just a small stippling brush, and I'll just go in circular motions, and it really gets the job done, and it blends it out nicely. It doesn't leave it patchy. I love this brush so much, and it's super small and precise. You can really get in there and be more precise of where you want your contour to be blended. And I really like these two brushes a lot for cream contour. I just recently got into cream contour, and these have definitely been helping me out with making sure my contour looks good. My next favorite brush is a Morphe brush, and this is the Morphe MB2, and this is my favorite brush for all over powder of my face. Basically, I will use this after I set my Laura Mercier powder underneath my eyes and on the rest of my face, because I've been baking all around my face lately and not just under my eyes. So once it's done sitting into my face, I will just take this big fluffy brush and I will just brush all of the powder off my face. This would also be a great brush for blush. but there's no rules to brushes. You can use them for whatever you want. So this is just what I use this brush for, and it does the job. It doesn't leave any of the powder left on my face, which is the worst when you look back in pictures or you look later on in the mirror and you see that you still have a cast of powder on your face. This definitely picks it all up. Next, I'm just going to be sharing two contouring brushes with you guys. This is the Morphe M23 and this is the Morphe M527. So this one is typically the one that I will use for bronzing up my entire face. It's just so big and fluffy, and it really blends out the product and gives you a nice contour, but not too harsh of a contour, as this one will give you that really precise, sharp contour that you want to define your cheekbones. So sometimes I will go in with this first and then I will go in with this, or if I want more of a natural bronze look, then I will just go in with the Morphe M527. And these both, I believe, are goat hair, so they blend out very, very nicely. And I definitely recommend these brushes. I never had a contour brush before these two. I actually just used whatever brush I could find and I would just pinch it to make it like more of like a flat, dense angle like this. Which, by the way, this one's a little bit more dense and this one's a lot more fluffy. But I would just kind of pinch it like this, any brush that I had, and I would just go like this and try and make it into a contour brush. And Morphe brushes, by the way, are super affordable. I don't have a code, but you could definitely use anybody's code here on YouTube. So I would definitely recommend looking through people's videos and finding a code, because not only are they affordable on their own, you can also get a great discount on them. My next brush is a blush brush, and this is by far my favorite blush brush that I've ever used. This is the Morphe MB4, and it's just an angled brush. You can use this for contour as well, but I typically don't like to use angled brushes for contour. But this is great for getting it on the apples of your cheeks and blending it into your contour. I typically like to take my blush from the apples of my cheeks and kind of bring it up. And this brush really applies the blush exactly where you want it to be, and it keeps it blended, doesn't make it patchy. It's so soft, and it's super dense blush brush as well, which is good because it'll really pick up the product. But I definitely recommend this brush for blush. It is my favorite that I've ever tried. Next, I just want to talk about two highlighting brushes from Morphe. This is my first favorite, which I still really do love, but I do like this one a little bit more. This is the Morphe M501, and this is just a fluffy blending brush. And this, I feel like you can be a little bit more precise with where you want your highlight with this. It doesn't really give me the highlight effect that I want for where it would reflect on my cheeks, but I do like this brush a lot because it is more precise and fluffy and it blends it out really nicely. But this brush, I've just recently started using a fan brush and I love this fan brush so much. I feel like it really gets my highlight poppin' and fleeky and so nice. And I've been trying to bring my highlight down to the apples of my cheeks, and this brush is great at giving you that nice, like, reflective highlight, which I don't have right now, and I'll tell you why. For some reason, I think that the highlight on my cheeks looks great on other people, but I think it looks a little bit strange on me. So I've just been doing a highlight literally like right here in the littlest bit, and I think I like it a lot better that way. But this definitely gives you the blinding highlight that everybody is obsessed with. If you can't figure out why you can't get your highlight to look the same as those Instagram girls who have like the highlight that's literally like, then you need to get a fan brush. I don't know what noise I just made, but you need to get a fan brush because these are life-changing. So the next brush I'm going to talk about is for my Cupid's bow and my nose highlight, which I still love. This is the Morphe M170-4. It's just a super small detail brush, which is perfect for doing the exclamation point on my nose and getting right into my Cupid's bow and highlighting it. I also like to use this brush for my inner corners, and it really is precise. And I feel like it's just the perfect size. I used to try and use like an eyeshadow brush for my nose highlight, and it just never worked because it would make my nose look too shiny and a little bit greasy. But this one gets exactly where you want it to. So I definitely love this brush a lot. Another brush that I love to use for my inner corner highlight is the Morphe E36, which is an exact dupe for the Sigma E30. Well, I guess it's not exact, but I would say that these two are definitely pretty similar. These are both pencil brushes, and I actually reach for the Morphe one more. And these two are great for your inner corners. I would definitely put this one in my favorites. I don't think that the Sigma one will be in my favorites just because this one is a little bit more soft and easier to blend out. But I will use this for my inner corner highlight, and I will also use it for underneath my lower lash line to smudge out some of the shadows that I have into my crease. This is actually such a great brush for doing your lower lash line because it doesn't make it too intense and it doesn't bring it down too low. It keeps it nice and tight into your lower lash line. And I can also use this brush to highlight underneath my brow bone. Okay, so time to move away from face brushes. I'm now going to be talking about my favorite eye brushes, and I have a lot of them. So to start out with, I am going to be talking about the Morphe M433. I don't even have to look at the number of this brush. And I'm going to be talking about the Sigma E25 blending brush. So this is the Sigma E25 on the left, and the Morphe M433 is on the right. And let me tell you that these brushes are exact dupes for each other. If you have to get one eye blending brush, I definitely recommend this one because this is such a versatile brush. You can use this to pack a transition shade all into your crease, or you can use it to do a cut crease and be more precise into your crease. It's just such a nice brush, and it blends it out so nicely because of the goat hairs. And typically, I know it doesn't look like it, but I also have another M433 right here. I typically reach for these more than I do my Sigma one just because I feel like these blend maybe a little bit nicer. Also, this one was pretty expensive and I just don't want to keep washing it and ruining it, so I would rather use these and get my use out of these, which are a lot cheaper. The M433 is a very known blending brush, and I definitely recommend this brush if you don't have it in your collection already. The next two brushes I have to talk about are two big fluffy crease brushes. This is the Morphe E27 and this is the Morphe E23. These actually both look pretty similar, but the Morphe E23 is a little bit more, I'd say, rounded towards the top, and the Morphe E27 is a little bit more flared out. Now, both of these are amazing brushes for transition shades. They blend so nicely and they really just effortlessly blend your transition shades into your crease. Now, if you have more lid space, you could use these for all of your crease shades because they're so blendable and amazing. But for me, I will just use these for my transition shades. Oh my god, I cannot talk. But me, typically, I will just use these for my transition shades, and then I'll go in with the Morphe M433 for a more precise color into my crease. But I love these brushes so much. They're so soft and amazing. Again, for a more precise color into my crease, my favorite brush is the Morphe M441, another favorite of everyone's in the Morphe collection. This is such a great blending brush. It really gets right into your crease and blends it out so effortlessly. It's just a nice pointed blender brush. I definitely recommend this brush to anybody. It's such a great blending brush and you need to have it in your collection. And this is another great blending brush. This is the Morphe M562, and if you like doing cut creases, you absolutely need a thin brush like this. And also if you want to add a black shadow on the corner of your eye, but if you do, your eyeshadow might get a little bit muddy and it won't blend, I would definitely use this brush because it gets really precise and it'll just pack the black right into the corner of your eye and it won't leave it muddy, it'll blend nicely. But this has honestly been the best brush for precisely making a cut crease happen. So before I will cut the crease, I will obviously lay down all of my colors. Sometimes I will just put the colors into my crease without being precise of where I want them to be, and then I'll go in and cut the crease. But for this one, I actually made the shape of the cut crease first. So I took my transition shades from the inner corner and brought them all the way out, and I made that shape already before I cut it. That way I wouldn't have to like completely carve out the shape. It was already kind of laid down for me. And this brush really helped me with that because it's so thin and nice, and I could go in with the darker shades and really get them tight down in the bottom of my crease where it was going to be cut. This brush is awesome. I definitely recommend it. If you can't master a cut crease, I definitely recommend trying this brush out. It will save your cut crease game. And to cut the crease, I have three brushes right here. This again is the one that I showed you guys earlier. It's the M170-4, and this is great for cutting the crease because it's super flat and precise. And then these two brushes are actually paint brushes. So this one, obviously they don't have name, they're actually paint brushes. So this one I will use when I'm trying to do like a cut wing liner with concealer, this thinner one right here. And then this flat one is also great for cutting the crease, so you don't necessarily have to buy really expensive brushes. If you have paint brushes laying around, I literally had these laying around from when I was little and I started using them and they work so nicely. I think that this brush would even be great for like a black gel liner. I definitely recommend trying paint brushes out. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but I really like using these brushes and I do reach for them a lot. My favorite brush for packing shadows onto the lid, as you can see, I use this brush today. This is just a Sephora concealer brush, and again, there are no rules for brushes. You can use them for whatever you want, so I like using a concealer brush as a eyeshadow brush. It works. So yeah, this is the best brush at putting shadows onto my lid and really packing on the color. And typically it's a lot better to pack on lid shades with your fingers, but I have long nails, so it's a little bit harder for me. So this is the closest thing that I can get to using my fingers. It really packs on the color nicely. I really just recommend testing the waters and trying different brushes for different purposes and seeing if they work, if you like them, and you might find out that you can use one brush for multiple different purposes. And lastly, I just want to talk about a brush for smudging out the shadow underneath my lower lash line. I do love those eye pencils, but this one is also great at getting the perfect amount of shadow underneath your lower lash line. This is the Sigma E35, and it's just a flat shader brush, and you can also use it to pack shadows onto your lid. It is great for packing shadows onto your lid, but I love using it for the shadows underneath my lower lash line. It comes to like, it's like fluffy on the sides and then it comes to more of a point, so it's really great at getting in there and really blending the colors underneath your lower lash line and not bringing them too low to where it looks like you kind of have a black eye, you know what I mean? So this brush is definitely great for lower lash line. So this is the end of my video. I hope this video was helpful to any of you guys looking to buy new brushes. I love all of these brushes so much and I totally recommend them to you guys. If you try any of them, let me know down below and let me know what you guys think about them. Again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoyed again. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you guys next time.